welcome back to my channel. My name is Dagny. In today's video, we're going to be talking about posture, something we all know we should be doing very well, but often it's very easy to sink into our chairs, especially with our phones, and disregard. In today's video, I'm going to go over a few exercises that will help improve posture so we don't have to have any assistance, as well as how to sleep to improve posture. If these things sound good, please join me and let's get started. But first, some tea. As much as I love my corsets, we're going to lose this one today. So what often happens when we have bad posture is that we bring the shoulders forward, round the thoracic spine. Often the head and the neck come forward, and there could be a posterior or an anterior tilt of the hips. And so this causes a lot of stress on the spine. Often, since we have to look forward, we then compensate. We bring our shoulder up and our face forward. But this is still causing a lot of stress. And over time, we feel like we can get stuck here. When we're trying to train our spine out of a hunchback position, what we're trying to do is increase the strength of the muscles that run along our spine. Often people will just try to sort of push their shoulders back, their chest forward, and flare their ribs. This can also cause some discomfort in the lower back. When you do this motion, you're really just working the retraction of the scapula and those muscles behind the shoulders, in between the shoulder blade. That's not really addressing the muscles down the spine. And so while this can help with the range of motion, it's not really helping create, more sustainable change for your back. You're just working on flaring your ribs and bringing back your spine. So let's work on some exercises that can help work with alignment, both standing and seated. And we're going to also look at how we can sleep a little bit better. So let's go. Let's start with some sitting posture tips. So this is incredibly incorrect for the spine in the long run. What we want to do first is sit up and make sure that we have our feet, our knees, and our hips in pretty much a 90-degree angle. This is going to keep our hips and our spine in a neutral position. It's great if you have an adjustable chair. You could bring your chair up or down depending on what you need. This, to me, right here is very comfortable. If you want, you can also get a cushion for your back. Sometimes you see, like curved cushions. This is going to mimic the curve of the spine, so that way when you lean back into your chair support, it's protecting and supporting the natural curve of the spine. Also, because we're always, on our computers or on our phone, if you are working at a desk, having your monitor at your eye height, so anything lower is going to start to make your shoulders droop, and anything higher are going to start, tilting our body the other way, although this kind of feels good. And a monitor at, eye level, as well as having your keyboard in a place where you can keep your arms about 90 degrees will also help maintain your overall optimal posture. Don't forget to occasionally get up 5 minutes, every half an hour to an hour. Getting up and moving and sort of stretching yourself out will really help make your back feel a lot better. Some other simple stretches that I like to do when I'm sitting, for sure, is to do neck circles both ways. Don't forget, to go right and left, but this is really helping to undo some of the strain that, just looking and staring at our phones all day are doing. So maybe try about 10 forward and back stretches. This feels so good right in the front of the neck, as well as 10 circles, back and forth either way. That, really helps stretch out the neck. Feels so good. Another stretch that I like to do is actually, rounding. I find that sitting for a long time in one position, I do like to find the range of motion again in my upper back. Even better, like I said, getting up to walk, but just doing sort of motions that stretch the spine. Oof, my back just cracked. Motions that stretch the spine, even in place. I find that if I'm sitting for a very long time typing and concentrating, I really do like to sort of put some motion back. And I know this is not exactly spine related, but if we are typing, stretching out the hands and the wrists does feel really good. I often have to remind myself to sit up. Even though I'm a dancer, I'm so prone to just, kicking back, leaning back, having really bad posture. And so it's a constant reminder and a battle to, especially when typing and working, to sit up. It comes in time, but don't beat yourself up if you constantly find yourself reverting, because it's exhausting. It does take muscles, and those muscles fatigue. So let's get started on some exercises to work on maintaining the posture. So first thing that we're going to do, we're going to find a wall, and we're going to bring our feet a little bit forward so we sink down and bring the hips into flexion. It's just the thighs coming forward, coming closer to the torso. We're not locking our knees straight, and we're not sitting so low that we're holding a wall hold. Although this is great for the quads, this is not what we need to do right now. We're just somewhere in the middle, keeping the knees extended but not locked. I'm trying to reduce the space behind my back, and so I don't want to be able to slip an arm through. I'm really trying to flatten it out, keep the upper back flat as well, and I'm keeping my chin tucked enough that my head, the back of my head, is touching the wall, so everything is aligned. We're going to hold this for about 2 to 3 minutes, just until the back muscles fatigue. You may have to stop sooner, but we'll try to build up as long as possible. I find around the 2 to 3 minute mark, you start to get a little tired. So alternately, we don't want to be here. We don't want to be able to, for this exercise, slip a hand through and have the top of our head touching the wall. Instead, we're going to be tucking that down, reducing the space behind us, and keeping our spine nice and straight, our head tucked, just looking straight forward. This is going to help build up the strength and the support of our muscles in our back. I know I said before that we don't want to simply flare our ribs open and bring our shoulders back, but a helpful exercise to start sort of massaging out the shoulders is, besides these circles, we just want to bring our shoulders back and then down. I like to lean against the wall because to me, I can feel that my spine is staying straight, so I'm not holding my pelvis forward like this, staying on the wall and just simply bringing my shoulders back. I'm tucking my hips a little bit. I'm working to bring my shoulders back without popping out, which is another lesson for another time. So keeping my hips tucked, I'm just bringing my shoulders back because we tend to be here. So shoulders back and down, back and down, back and down, back and down. Maybe about 10 times would be good to start. And then you can make it a little bit more complicated by going back, up, down, and back forward. And this is just sort of going to massage sort of the upper back and the shoulders and really get some of that tissue unstuck. Because often if we're staying here, it feels almost impossible to get out of that position. Also, you can grab a therapy ball or a tennis ball and do some self-massage here. So what I like to do, especially after dancing, is just put the tennis ball on the wall, and I can sort of control it by moving up and down and really get into parts of my back that, I just simply can't reach to massage myself, especially if you don't have anybody to help you out. This is a really great alternative, especially after a long day of computer work, just to work out some of the muscles along the spine and the shoulder blades. What you don't want to do is literally push your spine into the center, push the ball into the center of your spine. We really want to avoid that, but massaging, just gently the muscles around the spine, especially, under the shoulder and near the neck, that's really great. Gentle pressure first. You control how much pressure you put onto the ball. So be more gentle at first until you get into a rhythm of what works well for you. Again, like I said, just avoid putting direct pressure on your spine into the ball. We don't want to hurt ourselves there. So you can, again, use a therapy ball or any sort of rubber ball, or a tennis ball works great as well. Now let's talk about sleeping and posture. I personally prefer a very soft bed. However, if you have back pain or hip pain, you might prefer something slightly firmer. For me, what makes more of the difference is actually the height of the pillow. I even like to sleep without a pillow, but you might have to work to that. So when we have a very fluffy pillow, it's keeping our neck in sort of the bad posture that we're used to having if we're standing. If I took my pillows away, I would still be sort of curved. So having a slightly lower pillow is still supportive, but it's better to maintain the natural straightness of the spine. And if you're crazy like me, which I prefer to sleep sometimes with no pillow, that might be comfortable for you. But if you're experiencing some neck pain, it might actually help to start to relax your shoulders and your neck into a lower position using a lower pillow height. And so I know tall, fluffy pillows might be super comfortable, but lowering your pillow height might really help to start to relax the shoulders down. Of course, sleeping on the back is preferable, so it keeps everything aligned. But if you want to lay on your side, similarly to your back, having a bunch of pillows sideways is sort of going to keep your spine nice and curved. So if you're sleeping again on your side, one pillow helps to keep the spine straighter. And if you really need to get comfortable on your stomach, it's not the best position, but again, try to keep your pillow on the shorter side because we don't want to start doing any back stretches when we're sleeping. It's not so great to be in a resting position like this. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please don't forget to give it a like. That really helps out my channel, as well as subscribe, because I will be posting a video where I do all of the exercises that I mentioned along with you in real timing. So I'll do the repetitions with you, so that way you have some company and it's not so lonely as we work out our posture exercises. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Bye. In today's video, we're going to go over some exercises and misconceptions about postures.